Hello, I'm Shadow Spectre 11, and today I'm gonna go over and take an in-depth look and tour the Apollo Medivac. It is currently in the PTU right now for owners that have waited for the ship and have it in their inventory, their web inventory. And also, all of the modules came with the ship, along with the ship for free. So, this is a ship I've been waiting for about 2 years. Others have waited longer than I have. It's a beautiful ship. She flies gracefully. There are a lot of features to this ship, and I'm going to try and go over all that I know about the ship one at a time and give somewhat of an explanation of what I have encountered with the ship, testing it in the PTU. As you notice, the cockpit is enshrouded, of course, but this one has the feel of an Aquila, the constellation. So, from what I gather, this ship has grown in size from, what it was concepted for. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the tour and give you a look around the ship before I enter. Okay, this is the stock paint on the ship. Like I say, the cockpit windshield is different from what, I mean, it's in the concept, but it looks different than most of the other constellations. This is styled like the Aquila. So we have repeaters, I believe. I'm not going to say what size they are until I'm very, very sure about them. And we also have a turret on top. This ship looks a little battle worn right now because I've been flying it and things of that nature. She is a very, very nimble ship for what she is. She is a large. She has 2 nacelles. You can enter the ship from the elevator in front or the rear. I will go ahead and open this ramp. The ramp is very, very long. So you can enter the ship through here and go directly into the medical bay, or you can enter through the front of the ship through the elevator directly into the cockpit. She has a different styling from what I gather on the concept, but all in all, beautiful ship. She flies gracefully, and once I get through with the inside tour, we're going to take it for a flight. So, okay, so when you step on this elevator, if you look up, you'll see that, and then when we go ahead and go inside, you are enshrouded in glass, a protective shield. So here, this, I believe, is a maintenance access. So this may not be an airlock. This is for when the mechanism for the enclosure comes down. You can retract these rails. give it a cleaner look, got the one button there, and to bring it back, and it brings it back up. Okay, so here are your sleeping areas, pilot seat, co-pilot seat. You have a dining area. You have your toilet. You have a small kitchen area. You can bed log on this ship. There are ways to turn on the emergency lights from standing next to the seat. You do not have to be in the seat to turn on the emergency lights, which is pretty cool. A good field of view. You still have the struts, but they're not that intrusive on your sight. Gonna go head in the back. Okay, your component area. You have your components here. And your engineering. Coolers, power plants, life supports, and radar are not in components yet. You got your jump drive, another power plant, more coolers. The ship comes with a quantum Odyssey quantum drive that is used in the 600i as a stock. As we head back towards the bay, now I have set up with my modules the tier 1 med bed on med bay 2, plenty of storage in this ship, good amount of storage. I forgot to take my Pico out of my backpack. You have your restroom area, even with the rails, safety rails. This says medical refrigerator. Okay, so there's no stock that comes with the ship. As we all know, with the way medical gameplay is working, and there's still a lot of controversy about how that is working at this point. So hit F2, and here is your med bay, foyer, cargo bay, bathroom, and then the bridge. And this is the docking area, which we already have open at this point in time. Nice layout of the ship, shows where I am. Okay. Now, after I get done with the flight, I will store the ship and show you the different ways you can change your modules. So we have more components here. And we have weapons rack and suit locker. Now, these, on both sides in the cargo area, you have a suit locker and the weapons rack. Okay, here's your engineering console. And there's your fuses, your relays. Not a lot of cargo space, and I was always wondering, you know, since I got the ship, how you would put cargo on the ship. So, the only way that I could see, and this is like your triage area, is through here. This opens up wide enough for you to be able to bring cargo in. Now, I did try to close this from the inside, and if you close it, it will start to close. So you can open it from here. Like I say, this ramp is very, very long. There is no room for vehicle. Unless somebody, I believe, is going to try to fit something in here. You could get a hover bike in here. Highly possible. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in the ship, give you an outside view of it, turn on the lights, and get this this tour started. So, close her up, get ready to go. And now, I'm going to go ahead and kick on the lights. Get in the pilot seat. Give you an outside look at the ship. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. She does have missiles. You have a Gatling turret on the top, and then you have your repeaters. Like I said, I have been flying this ship, and she's been a little scarred up. The default paint looks really good. I like it. And I named this ship after my sister. So this is Faith 1. Okay, let's get her up in the air.
Welcome to Rocket Space
The
Industries.
MFDs are very, very nice.
Engines are on. Quantum fuel is at 100%.
Okay, got that. And calling out. drone doors under the bottom are not utilized at this time, so they will not open. Sound. Okay. Gonna go ahead and take her for a flight. As you notice, your radar is directly in front and it's transparent, so you can see around you. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. There it is. And we're gonna get her into the mountains. See how she flies. I don't have my helmet on right now. That's one thing. So before I get too busy, I'm gonna come to a halt real quick and do that. Okay. Sure, I got my helmet on. Yes. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get this ship down on the deck. Good field of view with the Toby. She's got good SCM speed. Okay, gonna kick her into quantum.
Shields off.
Nav mode. Okay, she's not supposed to be a super speed demon, but it's effective. She's carrying 0.4.5 million quantum fuel, 63 million hydrogen. Gizmo, she's nimble enough. I wouldn't say, like I say, she's not supposed to be a speed demon. And she stops pretty well. Very gracefully. It pretty well going into the canyons. Not something you want to do super high speed maneuvers with, but she can hold her own. Okay, now let's get her into space and see how she feels. She is not the fastest ship out there, but pretty fast for what she is. Planet that I was at doing a mission, and there's Microtech. Okay. And here we go. There's Ravage. I'm going to take her back in and store her and show you how to change out the modules. Okay, there are a lot of heavy frames here in the PTU right now. So we're gonna take our time getting down here. Now I believe the weapons are size 2 and size 3. I have to look at that to be sure, but I can do that in the VLM. There are 4 shield generators on this ship, size 2. And let's go ahead and call hangar. When you are using, can you get the VTOLs on? When you're on downward thrust and you're not using your VTOLs, she likes to continue going down. So you want to be careful of that. Let's see where it puts us over here. I haven't changed anything out, like you can change the missiles and things of that nature, and you can also change out the gap guns. Okay. Shut down the ship. Gas her up a little bit. Damage. Whoops. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the emergency lights. Now, there's your remote turret. And there's your lights off. And there's your mantis. Beautiful skylight on this ship, by the way. I didn't do that before. Okay. Alright, so that is the inside of the ship. And let's go in here and we'll go ahead and go to the BLM. And we'll go ahead and store the ship. If this is a little longer than usual, than what my normal videos are, this ship has a lot to it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and send her down. I will make a video while taking the ship into combat, so you can get kind of a feel for what she has. Okay, now that the ship is stowed, as you remember, I have a tier 2, it's 2 tier 2 beds and a tier 1. So what I'm going to do is open up the BLM and change those out so you can see what they look like. So I'm going to put all tier 3s in there. But first I'm going to dump off a little bit of stuff here. This one, don't need that in there. Now I have some med gel, and right now from what I gather, the tier 1 bed will not take a cartridge. So I will not put that in there. And if I put anything in there right now, trying to get the bed or get the beds loaded, they may have an issue. So okay, let's go into vehicle, bring up the Apollo. Okay, it goes directly to your modules, and I have on this side the tier 2 module. Okay, so I can take this one out, change that to a tier 3, save the changes, go to the other module. I have the tier 1, so I can take that and change that to tier 3s. Okay, okay, so now I also wanted to show you the weapons. Okay, size 2. And if we scroll down, the Rhino repeaters, size 3 to 4. Okay. On gimbals. Down to the Mantis, size 2 or size 3. Okay, so you can change them out. There's nothing wrong with that. I can put these on here and change that out. Okay, so now that I've changed the beds, I'm gonna bring the ship back up. I was wondering how they were gonna do this, since they don't have the NPCs where you can change the modules out. For simplicity, it does work with the VLM. Eventually, I don't know if this is going to happen, where they're going to change how the modules are going to be put into place. That is something that's going to come in time. I can't say for sure. So bring the ship back up so you can see what they look like. With the bed configuration can be changed. You can have 2 tier 1s on each side, 4 tier 2s, and 6 tier 3s, if I'm correct. So let's take a look. Go directly to the back of the ship. Go directly in, and this is the configuration it has now. So we have 6 beds, all tier 3s. All tier 3 beds. And like I say, you can go to tier 2s, you would have 4. If you go to tier 1s, you would have 2. So there it is. That's the change. Now I could go and change the ship again, but I can show you that through the Mobi, and I will actually do that live during the stream, so to cut down on the time of this video. So that is the Apollo Medivac. I don't have a triage, so I cannot demo that ship. When it goes live, they may give me one to take a look at and try out, but I am happy with this one. So that is all for me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative and with a lot of information. Let's just say it that way. And back up. So, I thank you all for watching. I hope you found it with a lot of information about the ship. She's graceful, she's beautiful, and going to be a very nice asset in the game. So, this is Shadow Spectre 11. Have a wonderful day and take care.